missions, we're only going to give you 2 types of targets. You'll see one, which is that tank looking thing. That will be a tank. You see the Ivan next to it? That will be troops in the open. What round would you use for a tank?
Heat.
Heat round. Heat round is one of the rounds that you will use. The other round would be for troops in the open, which will be HEDP. On impact. On impact. Alright? So, those are the only 2 rounds we're going to ask for. Those are the only 2 targets you're going to see. So, that brings me to this. Your range drum. Pull it out. That's the first thing you'll do. You're going to see 4 rings. This one's tricky to see. The one on the end. It's tricky to see. There are 4. So, the reason I'm telling you this, each round has its own ring. So, if I want to shoot at troops in the open, I'm going to use HEDP on impact, which is the 3rd ring. It's going to look like this. So when you pull it out all the way, you'll feel 1 click, and then you go down, you'll feel the next click. That's 3. You hear something like troops in the open 400 meters. After you set your rings, you're just simply going to crank to the 4. If I tell you 450, you go to the 50-meter increment, which is the little dot in between all the numbers. It's numbered 0 to 10, indicating 0 meters to 1,000 meters. That's the distances that we can give you. We're probably not going to give you 1,000. That's fucked up. So from there, that is your HEDP cue setting impact round for troops in the open. Second ring is going to be your heat round for what? So it's just going to be a tank. We're not going to be like a fucking striker or sausage vehicle. We're not going to do that. We're going to call it a tank. So same thing. You're going to hear something like this. Your target is a tank at 400 meters. You're going to index, pull it all the way out. You're going to creep down to 2. From there, you're going to crank to 4. This is your first task. If you guys are reading along in your book, this is your first task to set the range drum. You have to be accurate with this. If I say troops in the open, and you give me 2 rings, and then you put that shit on your shoulder, you're no-go. Because you failed to properly prepare the range drum. So how many rings for troops in the open?
3.
How many for heat?
2.
What do heat rounds shoot at?
Tanks.
What do HEDP on impact shoot at?
People.
Any questions? Really simple, guys. In front angle.
We're not necessarily in black and white, and those are your technicalities in a sense. We've eliminated that from this station entirely, so if it's not in black and white, we're not going to hold your feet to the fire for it. We'll cover that after that second demonstration. We'll point out a couple things that we can give you no-go for, but I'm telling you right now, we are not going to give you a no-go for. So if you make that mistake and it's along those lines, don't worry about it. You're not going to get a no-go for it. All of my graders are tracking it. I am the station NCIC, so if a protest happens for one of those things that I point out, it's not going to be an issue by the time I get there, but we shouldn't even cross that bridge, trust me. So, any one of the 7 rounds, we're trying to keep it as simple as possible. It's just going to be 1 of 2 targets, so we want you to just use HEDP or heat. Yes, you can use HE. Yes, you can set a fuse for air burst. If you do that and you're right, you got the proper ring setting for that round, more power to you. We're trying to keep it as simple